are here. You know what I'm not glad about? I left my clicker backstage, so I'm just going to do this and hope that somebody sees that I left my clicker. I left my clicker backstage so that someone can bring it out to me. Anyway, yeah, I'm so happy to have you guys here. I have been waiting for this for so long, and as you can see, I made an effort, so you're welcome. Quick agenda for the day. We have sessions all day on this stage. There is a party tonight at Universal Studios. You're welcome, but you need your badges to get in there, so please don't lose them. That is everything you need for all things IZEAfest. The agenda for IZEAfest is available on our mobile site, of course, and you can follow at IZEA handles and hashtag everything IZEAfest for all of the updates. Now, really quickly, who's local? I just want to, yeah, give it up. Orlando's amazing, right? And who flew in or from far away? Who got on a plane? You trusted that, the tube with your thousands of miles in the air to land here. Technology is crazy. This whole conference is about technology and how crazy it is and what's happening to it. So you guys are in for a super big treat. Oh, thank you. My little brother, you guys, Julius. Yeah. Yep. A lot of things happened in 2016 technology-wise. Raise your hands if any of this stuff affected you. The melting of the Galaxy Note S or 7. Anybody? Anybody have a Galaxy? Yeah, that was sad. Yep. The death of Vine. Remember Vine? Remember MySpace and High Five and all those other amazing places? And then, I don't know if you guys know this, but the very last manufacturer of the VCR is no longer being manufactured. Yeah, I know, isn't that weird? All of millennials don't get it. They're like Netflix, but we understand. We know those plastic VHS Disney tapes. It hurts. We hear that. So, moving on really quickly. I'm running out of breath. First thing we want to do, of course, is thank our amazing sponsors. You'll see them listed behind me. These are the sponsors, supporters, and partners that make everything possible today. Yeah, absolutely, definitely. Yeah, okay. I mean, be excited, but, you know, keep it together. They've been instrumental in getting all of you here today, and we are so grateful for their commitment to supporting IZEA, you guys, and the event itself. And to get the day started, on behalf of one of our amazing partners, Lenovo, sponsor of the big sky deck in the back, take a look back there. Yeah, y'all, that's privilege up there. Yep, like 2 people back there waving, nice. We are very proud to call Lenovo a client of ours for the past 4 years. They're the world's #1 PC maker and brought some awesome gear for our creators, starting with the Lenovo Yoga Book. The Lenovo Yoga Book. Take a look. Walking off. Yeah, who wants one? Yeah, that's cool, right? Did you see all the stuff it does? This thing is more powerful than the computers that landed us on the moon, I swear. But, so that being said, we do have one to give away right now. This is it. Look at it. It's so durable, I'm going to throw it on the ground and it's still going to work. I'm just kidding, I'm not going to do that. Okay, we should have a bowl with some numbers for me. There it is. Yeah, you do have to be here to claim your prize. So open your bags and look for your raffle that you got at registration. Here it is. I'm so excited. Okay, 6, 4, 4, 2. Oh, sorry guys. 9, 8. Where are you at, person? Where are you? Going once. Oh, read it again. 6, 4, 4, 2, 9, 8. Oh, really? That's awesome. That one's done. Here we go, one more time. All right. None of this is rigged. 6, 4, 4, 2, 2, 1. Aw, that's okay. You have another chance. Going once, going twice. What? Oh my God. Good for you. Come here. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, that checks out, Carly. Congratulations. Big thank you to our partners, Lenovo. We're going to be giving away products throughout the event, so please keep your little numbers. Okay. We also have giveaways from our amazing client, Vera Bradley. So if you have baggage or need more baggage to put your baggage in, then this will be coming your way. And limited edition merchandise from Bob's Burgers. You guys? Yes, how exciting is that? Don't I look like a Bob's character? I feel like I could fit in so well there. All right, are you guys excited? Yes? Do me a favor, because I've had to be up since like 5 this morning, so stand up just real quickly for me and, you know, empathize. Yeah, there you go, you're standing. Okay, too much, thank you. Yeah, standing, good. Give me a real quick just double clap. Give me a real quick double stomp. Yeah, that sounds okay. Can you give me a stomp stomp clap? Yeah, keep going. That sounds good. Yeah, oh, it's so loud. Yeah. Oh, man. You know what this reminds me of? Buddy, you're a big boy, make a big noise. Playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, big disgrace. Kicking your can all over the place. Singing, we will rock you. Sing it! We will. Ladies and gentlemen, the lead guitarist of Queen, Brian May. No, stop singing. We don't have the royalties to that song. And Brian May is actually a really well-known astrophysicist now, so he's not here. At any rate, thank you so much. I'm hoping you guys are excited. Please tag your posts, tweets, videos, all of that with hashtag IZEAfest. We also have a very special Snapchat filter. I'm in it with the kids. Snapchat's the thing, so make sure you try it out. Woo! I know you guys are out of breath too. And along with you tagging your stuff, I will be reviewing it. So take a look at these spaces where there should be photos, but there are not. That's all right, we're gonna give them a second. Oh my God, here we go, sort of. What are these people up to? Anna Kate, is that a yacht? Where were you last night? Please tweet me, Anna, if you do have a Veronique. I will come join you. Carlos Gill, y'all went out last night? Are you guys here, Carlos Gill and your company? Did you make it in? You guys, you gotta shame them when they come in. They didn't even make it in this morning. Paula Rollo, oh, that's fun. Definitely use all of our photo opportunities at IZEAfest, so fun. And Social Kelsey, where are you, Kelsey? Pulling off that fedora hat like it's nothing. Lucky you. Oh no, she here either? Well, that's all right. That's okay, you guys are awesome. You're gonna take so many photos and you're gonna show them to me. And right now you're gonna show me that you're pumped because we are ready to get started. And I know you have LED sticks or glow sticks. Put them up real quick. Yes, okay, no, I know there's more. You guys are awesome, you guys have them. Yeah, even more, come on, more. Yeah, good, all right. Please keep your glow sticks up. I wish I could experience this for the first time. You guys are so lucky. Please welcome Lumination.
Gosh, what a fantastic Friday. How about illumination, everybody? Yeah. If you have ever been to IZEA's headquarters here in Orlando, you know that we love lights, we love music, we love to dance, but most of all, we love the creative spirit that inspires performances like the one you just saw. The creative spirit, the magic of having a wild idea and turning that idea into a reality. Nothing is more uniquely human. We are all born with it, and we all create in our own special way. Creativity is what brings joy to our lives. A handmade costume, a pillow fort, Grandma's special mac and cheese. The act of making something isn't just about the passion of the creator. It's about the people who are touched by the creator's work. A costume is a springboard to adventure. A pillow fort is a fortress of strength. And a bowl of mac and cheese, that's a macaroni hug. What you make as a creator can have much greater meaning than you ever intend. We all have that favorite song that makes us dance, that comedy set that makes us ache with laughter, that painting that brings a tear to our eyes. As a creator, you don't often realize the gravity of what you have made, the halo of emotion, the influence on action. There is immense power in what we say, what we make, and what we share every day. That is what is so incredible about this time that we live in. Social media has profoundly changed what it means to be a creator. We can now share our thoughts with hundreds, thousands, or even millions of people with the click of a button. And not only do our ideas reach more people, but they live on forever as part of the internet. A simple family recipe can go beyond our own dinner table, reaching into the homes of complete strangers and brightening the day of a family on the other side of the world. In many ways, the content that we create each day is our legacy. That content will outlive us all, touching generation after generation. In a world of fake news and political attacks, I find reprieve in the content produced by passionate creators who truly care about their craft, those that seek to impact people in a positive way. Whether it's how-to videos on YouTube, inspirational blog posts, or wanderlust photos on Instagram, it is these creators who produce the content that I love. These creators are why social media is so powerful. Our mission at IZEA is to champion the creators, to provide them with a source of income, to follow their dreams, and fund their passion, while remaining true to themselves and to their audience. We partner with brands and agencies that share our mission, and together we empower creators to produce incredible content that inspires, educates, and entertains. We believe that when you put creators first, wonderful things can happen.
I know a place where the light sings and the mountains carry the harmony. A place where you can walk through history and run towards new beginnings. Here, the journey is one long, perfect stretch of road that'll make you feel a little less lost and and a lot more alive. A place where awe is part of the everyday. It's a place that people come to, but never truly leave. This is a place where the clouds dance, and the skies keep your secrets. The days feel longer, fuller, and your senses never get a chance to sleep. It's a place where the old find adventure, and the young find their wisdom. This place can stop your heart and slow your breath, take you right to the edge, the higher you fly. It's a place to stop, to listen, to watch, to be. Yeah. You could say I know a place.
I don't know about you guys, but thanks to that video, I know a place that I want to visit. That video was produced by Ben and Taylor of Two Humans Travel. Two fantastic creators on behalf of our clients, the Swiss Travel Board. Amazing content like this is why I get out of bed every morning. The needs of the creator, the brand, and the audience are all satisfied. This is what we should strive for as an industry. This is work we can all be proud of. It is hard to believe, but IZEA recently celebrated its 10th anniversary. I used to have brown hair. I used to have hair. 10 years of connecting brands with creators. We've gone from this idea with a guy with an idea to a NASDAQ-listed company with 140 people in 2 countries. It has been a remarkable journey filled with ups and downs, but I can't think of a more rewarding experience. As a creator myself, I take great pride in what we do. I'm fulfilled by the success of the brands, agencies, and creators we support. I believe that when our customers win, our company wins. And that's what the next 2 days are all about. We have an incredible lineup for you at this year's IZEAfest. From major brands and YouTube stars to best-selling authors and celebrities. We want to help create your future and arm you with the information and inspiration that you need to take your game to the next level. I want to give a big thank you to everyone in this room, our investors, our team members, and our team members' families. There are a lot of sacrifices made each day for this company, and I appreciate all that the families do to support the team members who work here. Especially my wife, Tara, and my son, Zane. Thank you both. I love you very much. Of course, we would be nothing without our customers. You have been tremendous in helping us refine the capabilities of our platform to meet your needs. Your feedback helps steer the ship, and we value your guidance on our ongoing journey. In the past year, we have made 15 major and 157 minor releases to IZEA X. We've also made 89 releases to the supporting services. That's 268 releases. A new version of our software gets deployed every 0.97 business days. We're constantly refining the platform and making it better, but many of the biggest new features have been hidden to our users, quietly waiting for today. At our last IZEAfest, we announced that IZEA X was coming out of beta, and we were releasing version 1.0. This year, we are pleased to announce version 2.0. It's our biggest update ever, with changes and enhancements to every part of our platform. And I can't wait to show you what our incredible team of engineers have done. While much of the technology you see today will be overt, much more won't be. For the past 2 years, we have rewritten large components of the underlying architecture of our platform. We've been breaking IZEA X apart, moving from a large monolith application to independent microservices. This architecture allows us to develop and deploy faster. It increases the responsiveness of individual pages on our platform and creates the flexibility needed to extend our services, integrate with third parties, and create new products. The big new features you will see this morning are driven by API calls to microservices in IZEA X. These services talk to each other and can share information, but are largely self-contained. We can release updates to a microservice without impacting the overall application. This means a faster and more stable experience for all of our users. As we look to the future, we see the IZEA X feature set expanding in many ways. We believe there are opportunities for creators and marketers to collaborate far beyond our current offering. And these changes to our infrastructure provide the foundation for our ongoing evolution. Our tech has come a long way, but with a new foundation now set, we are just getting started. As the IZEA ecosystem has grown, so have the use cases and types of people that we work with. Our partners include brands, ad agencies, media companies, talent agencies, MCNs, and creators big and small. Each of them have different levels of scale and sophistication. On one end, we deal with Fortune 100 companies. On the other, we deal with college students making videos in their dorm rooms. We need a system that accommodates the needs of all. When we first planned out IZEA X years ago, we had the single concept of a user. That user would assume the role of a marketer or creator. They could add social connections and transact with others. And that was fine for individuals or small organizations. But as we grew, we recognized that teams of people with different roles were accessing opportunities through the same login. We needed the concept of a shared account, so groups of people could collaborate and access features in the system. With accounts, teams of people can now share opportunities, finances, and connections. However, for larger agencies and brands, the concept of a single account still isn't enough. They need the ability to manage multiple accounts as a parent company. To meet this need, we have created organizations. Now, ad agencies can set up accounts for different office locations, or a holding company could set up brands all under one master IZEAx organization. Users, accounts, and organizations, or UAO, provides flexible access management based on the needs of our customers. And UAO is available starting today. Now, UAO is a fantastic upgrade for users within the same company, but many of the buyers in our ecosystem want to collaborate on campaigns with their own clients through IZEAx. They've been asking for a simplified user experience that they can share with customers without additional licensing fees or expense. So today, we're announcing the IZEAx Enterprise Suite. The IZEAx Enterprise Suite allows agencies to give brand clients access to distinct parts of the influencer and content workflow. We deliver this in a streamlined interface, optimized to keep that workflow moving. There are 3 components of the suite, and access to these components is granted from within an individual campaign. Creator Review allows a marketer to send a list of hand-picked creators to a client for approval. The client can explore their profile, check their social accounts, and provide feedback. Once approved, these creators can be used in a brand's campaign, and all of the approvals are tracked right inside IZEAx. Post-review allows a brand to collaborate with an agency in the editing process. You can exchange notes, highlight content, and request revisions. This makes sure that everyone is on the same page before a piece of content is published. And delegated analytics lets agencies share a simplified view of campaign data with their clients. These real-time analytics help customers understand how a campaign is performing without the need to send a campaign report or emails. And because accountability and transparency are so important for branded content, IZEAx logs every content touchpoint within the system, providing detailed transcriptions of who does what and when. That's the Enterprise Suite. Creator Review and Analytics are available today, and post-review will be available later this quarter. One of our engineers' primary goals is to help our customers ditch the manual processes and tools used for influencer marketing. Spreadsheets and emails are squarely in our targets. In order to eliminate spreadsheets and emails, our users need better communication and data tools. Data drives modern marketing and is an increasingly important part of the IZEAx feature set. IZEA has an ongoing commitment to enhancing our analytics offering. Our new dashboards are not only faster, more responsive, and user-friendly, but we've also revamped the way that we approach analytics. We've added a new layer of campaign-level analysis that spans across multiple opportunities and opportunity types. At the opportunity level, we have consolidated navigation and data, making it easier to find the most relevant information while simultaneously providing tools to drill down even deeper into the data that matters to you. And at the post level, we have exposed more social data and added analytics over time. All of this allows marketers to track engagement, earn media value, and of course, traffic for their influencer marketing campaigns. Behind the scenes, our analytics dashboard is now driven by a better data pipeline. We rewrote Tracker, our traffic processing engine, from the ground up. It now runs as a microservice, collecting more information on every click while doing so more efficiently. As a result, we process click streams faster and with better intelligence for our clients. We've also integrated a new partner, Pixelate, into our traffic analysis pipeline. Pixelate is a leader in the detection of click fraud. This partnership provides us with independent vetting and scoring of clicks, on top of our own filtering and analysis. The dedicated pipeline assists us in identifying and discarding bots and other nefarious traffic for our clients. Our goal is to provide the most accurate representation of influencer engagements as possible. Our new analytics tools help do just that, and they power many of the other announcements that you'll see this morning. Finding the right creator is a key component of a successful campaign. IZEAx gives marketers access to hundreds of thousands of opt-in social connections, but sometimes all those options can be overwhelming. So we continue to refine our discovery features inside IZEAx. Discovery begins with search. Our team has made search faster, more powerful, and relevant. We've added more filters and filter groups to allow marketers to narrow their queries and find the right match. Creator profiles have also been updated and refined. They're cleaner and easier to understand and have been enhanced with more data about the creator and their content. Last year, we announced Score Suite 1.0. Score Suite is a set of algorithms that looks at how an audience engages with a creator and their content. It programmatically ranks creators against each other in our network. We break those scores down between influence rank, platform rank, and community rank, each looking at the creator through a different lens. The first version of Score Suite included support for Twitter and Instagram. With version 2.0, we have expanded and added support for Facebook, blogs, and YouTube. We've also refined the algorithm, making it more accurate and valuable for marketers. In addition to Score Suite, today we are announcing dynamic tags. Dynamic tags use natural language processing and artificial intelligence to determine relative keywords in a creator's content. We extract phrases and groups of words using a specialized parsing algorithm. This algorithm identifies each word as a component of speech, such as a noun, adjective, verb, and adverb. We then compute the relevance of each word group. This is based on term frequency, which is how often that word occurred in the creator's content, as well as inverse document frequency, which is how often that word occurs in a large corpus of text. Essentially, we are trying to figure out how unique and meaningful that specific word is relative to that particular creator and the global creator universe. If the score meets our threshold, it gets appended to the creator's profile and becomes searchable. In this case, sports equipment, yoga mat, Adidas shoes, Apple Watch, and Nike headband would all be appended to the creator's profile. Tags change as you change. One year, you're out hitting the club, dancing it up. Hey, you want a drink? Yeah, I want a drink. Sounds good. The next year, you're at home with your wife and your kid, and you're talking about diapers. I can tell you from experience that things that we talk about change over time. So your world changes, and now your tags do too, automatically in IZEAx. Marketers access dynamic tags by performing a search. When you mouse over a creator's name, you'll now see that dynamic tags that we've discovered will display in a tooltip. Enhanced Search, Score Suite 2.0, and dynamic tags are all available starting today. As influencer and content marketing have become more complex, so too have the types of requests that flow through our system. Towards the end of last year, we rolled out opportunity-level messaging. This feature allowed creators and marketers to collaborate on a specific offer, making complex executions easier and more efficient. Our users loved this new ability, but it didn't provide all the functionality that they needed. So today, we are rolling out Message Center. Message Center serves as the central communications hub, allowing our users to see all the messages within a specific account. This makes it easier for creators and marketers to manage multiple message streams and provide search functionality to quickly locate a specific message. The Message Center will be a huge time saver for high-volume creators and agencies. And for those with shared accounts, you can now see communication from each person who has access to the account. And all these messages are logged right inside IZEAx, providing an audit trail for accountability. You will always know who said what on behalf of the brand. Better communication yields better campaigns, and Message Center makes that easier than ever. It is available for marketers and creators today. After 10 years and over 3.5 million transactions, we know that not every influencer or content marketing program fits in a box. Sometimes campaigns include expenses outside of an opportunity in IZEAx, and sometimes projects don't fall within a standardized workflow. So today, we're announcing IZEA Pay. IZEA Pay allows marketers to send electronic payments to creators and creators to request payments from marketers, all without being tied to a specific opportunity right inside IZEAx. Common expenses that we see on projects include cash to purchase a product, airfare, hotel and other travel expenses, or digital assets such as stock photos or music. But in addition to expense reimbursements, highly customized programs often demand payment flexibility. A marketer may want an influencer to show up at an event, or the ability to pay a freelancer that they have a relationship for a quick side project. The problem in managing these payments, especially for large organizations, is that the payment procurement process can be very challenging. It may cost more to get a creator set up as a vendor than the payment itself. And we think that this hurts the smaller creators in particular. With IZEA Pay, creators can now submit detailed payment requests to marketers. Each request includes individual line items and the ability to add receipts as attachments. Marketers can review and approve individual creator payment requests. But they can also initiate the process of sending an electronic payment to the creator. This process is fast and easy, but it includes the accounting controls required by large organizations. Each transaction is individually numbered, and the payment journey is tracked. A PDF invoice can be downloaded for the payment, complete with a history log for auditing purposes. IZEA Pay streamlines creator payments, making them manageable for high-volume marketers. Instead of setting up individual contracts, collecting tax information, and establishing creators as vendors, IZEA Pay acts as a central hub, providing controls, processing payments, and eliminating overhead. The world's largest news organization already uses IZEA for creator payments, and we can't wait to see how our agencies and brands use it to pay them as well. IZEA Pay is available starting today. Influencer marketing is one of the fastest growing segments of the marketing landscape. Over 1 million tweets each month contain the hashtag ad, and it's rated among the top in effectiveness by marketers for the past 3 years. There is little doubt that influencer marketing is working hard for brands, but we believe it can work even harder and more efficiently. Today, we're announcing promoted posts to do just that. We all know that a social media post doesn't organically reach the full follower count of an influencer. But what if you could pick the best content from a campaign and boost it, reaching more of the creator's followers and even extending outside of their audience? And what if you could target with all the paid media segmentation precision that you're used to? Now you can. Promoted posts allow a marketer to boost a piece of sponsored influencer content using that influencer's voice. It is the difference between a piece of content promoted by a brand and one promoted by an individual. The tests that we have done have shown up to 10 times the engagement with this sponsored content over traditional brand-sponsored posts. Now, IZEA's technology is what enables this to happen at scale. IZEA uses the influencer's OAuth to connect to the ads manager on a social network. This allows us to seamlessly fund a paid campaign using an influencer's social handle. The analytics in the IZEA dashboard already allow marketers to see which influencer's content is performing best. Now, next to each influencer post, marketers will see a promote button. That promote button lets the marketer put more paid resources behind an individual piece of content. Clicking promote takes the marketer to a campaign configuration screen. They're able to target the ad based on criteria available from each social network. For instance, I can now take an influencer post and pay for heavier promotion in a specific geo, or I can target based on other interests and demographics. IZEA programmatically makes the buy through the social network, and we provide the analytics directly inside IZEA right alongside the original sponsored posts. It is the fastest, most integrated approach to amplifying influencer content on the market. And it also benefits creators by helping them reach new audiences and build their followers. Promoted Posts is launching first with Facebook, giving marketers access to the 1.7 billion people that use Facebook each month. It will be made available to all licensees of IZEA in the coming weeks. Stop by our booth in the back and ask for Chris Staymates if you'd like to see a preview. At our last IZEAfest, we introduced Social Links. Social Links allows creators to search through the product catalogs of online retailers. They can easily retrieve affiliate links for their products without all the complications of a traditional affiliate program. We originally launched Social Links with support for eBay. We then enhanced the platform, adding support for Target and an integration with Pinterest, letting influencers pin and promote products from the 10th largest retailer in the world. This year, we are significantly enhancing the Social Links program and announcing new partners to cover more areas of online shopping. We are pleased to announce the following new Social Links partners: Best Buy, Champs, PetSmart, Foot Locker, Bloomingdale's, Nordstrom, GameStop, Macy's, Lego, and the world's largest retailer and longtime IZEA client, Walmart. There are 10 new partners in all, providing our creators with access to millions of SKUs to promote. And accessing them is incredibly easy. Just go to your Social Links tab on your creator account and select the retailer you want to search. IZEA indexes the full online product catalog made available by these retailers. And as a user, you can search by keyword, product name, or SKU. You can then share the link through your social accounts. And you'll earn money if you drive a sale as part of that retailer's affiliate program. It is the quickest way to locate and generate an affiliate link from the world's largest retailers. If you're a creator, you now have access to a virtually unlimited catalog of products to promote, with the ability to choose the right products for your audience and create as little or as much sponsored content as you like. Social links is part of our broader mission to create value for both the creators and marketers that we serve, and all of these partners are available starting today. At our last IZEAfest, we launched IZEAx for iOS. The app made it possible for creators to participate in sponsorship opportunities easily from their phone. Today, we are launching IZEAx for iOS version 2.0, with many new features and refinements for our iPhone users. With version 2.0, we have brought social links to iOS for the first time. You can now search through all the social links partners, including the ones we just announced this morning, right on your phone. This lets you easily find and share social links when you're away from your desktop and takes on new utility when out shopping at your favorite retailers. You could be shopping at Nordstrom, find a product you love, and easily share that product out to your followers. Mobile makes social links even faster and easier to use. We have also created a mobile-optimized message center, enhancing communication between marketers and creators on the go. The mobile version of Message Center will help opportunities to move forward faster than ever before. That means faster launches for marketers and faster payment for creators. These new features and more are available today in the App Store. But what about Android? Android. Do we have any Android users in the audience? We do? What's that back there? Android! Come on up here, buddy! Come on up here! It looks like it may be a little hard to run in that thing. Ever since we've launched IZEA for iOS, our creators have been asking for an Android version. So today we are launching IZEAx for Android. With our new Android app, creators will be able to browse opportunities, place bids on sponsorships, create short-form content, and get paid. It is complete. It is complete social sponsorship workflow right on your Android phone. IZEAx for Android is available today in the Google Play Store. All right, so I saw some hands go up that said they had some Android devices. Get them up, get them up. Where are my Android phones? Who's got my Android phones? My giveaways, where are my giveaways? Oh, there they are, wrong side of the room. All right, just these guys here. All right, so I've got two Lenovo Fab Pro 2s. These are awesome Android phones. Let me see your Android. Let me upgrade you. Boom, upgraded. Let's see. All right, who wants to dance? Who wants to dance for a phone? All right, let's see it, you. Let's see it, what you got? Yeah? All right. Can you get low? Can you get low? All right. Awesome. We love our partners at Lenovo, and they've got so much awesome product that we're giving away here. Oh my gosh, so much awesome this morning. Yeah! But we're not done yet. We work with our marketing customers in two primary ways. With custom content, we help brands and publishers produce text, graphics, and videos that live on their blogs and social streams. And with influencer marketing, we help brands and agencies engage influencers to drive awareness and traffic. While there's some overlap between these lines of business, we think that there is a bigger opportunity to unlock. What if these two worlds could make music together? And what if we could disrupt content and influencer marketing at the same time? So today, we're introducing Content Amp to do just that. Marketers and publishers both know that a good piece of content means nothing if it doesn't reach an audience. Many have turned to sponsored stories at the bottom of blog posts to help them gain more exposure. Unfortunately, the customer experience for these ads leaves much to be desired. Ads are often cluttered with low-quality clickbait, and they transfer little brand affinity from the publication to the marketer promoting the content. While this type of content has its flaws, what marketers love about it is that these ad units are performance-based. Marketers can pay on a cost-per-click basis for traffic, and the technology solution is scalable and repeatable. On the other side of our marketplace are influencers. Influencers love great content and welcome the opportunity to work with brands and publishers. But for most influencers, direct sponsorships with cash payments are not an everyday occurrence. The direct sponsorship model will always be central to influencers, but there is certainly room to diversify their income. Content Amp solves problems for both sides of our marketplace. It allows marketers to distribute content on a cost-per-click basis through influencers. It creates a new revenue stream for influencers to augment direct sponsorship revenue. And best of all, each content share is curated by an influencer, creating a better experience for end consumers. With brands and publishers on lead and influencers on backup vocals, we think Content Amp is gonna rock. Ow! To show you how this works, I'd like to invite Chris Staymates, VP of Engineering, to demo the software with me. Welcome, Chris.
Thanks, Ted.
You ready to do this?
See, packed house, hotel Wi-Fi, brand new software. What could go wrong? Click it over.
All right. There we go.
So to get started with Content Amp, we go to the new Content Amp section in IZEA X and create a new project. We're going to be using Metro Media's technology feed for this project, so we'll give it an appropriate name. And then we choose whether or not we're going to amplify a RSS feed or a set of individual links. Individual links are great when you have specific pieces of content that you want to get in front of influencers, whether it's part of your corporate blog or perhaps videos that are hosted on YouTube. But when you use an RSS feed, that's when Content Amp really shines. So I'm going to put the RSS feed in here, and then I'm going to set an article budget and how much I'm willing to pay per click. Content Amp will go out to this RSS feed, check it periodically, and put a new opportunity in front of creators every time we notice a new article has been set. I also can target based on reach and community. So I want this to go to anyone with 1,000 or more followers who who are interested in technology on Facebook and Twitter. These settings apply to the project, but can be overridden at any point on an article-by-article basis. I'm going to review the project, create it, and now it's being reviewed by an admin.
So each new feed and post goes through a curation process on our end before it becomes available to influencers. Once it's approved, it will appear in the new Content AMP section of their site. So that's what you see here. I'm logged in as a creator on the right-hand side. Through this, I can filter the opportunities that are available. I can sort them, and I can also search them. So I'm going to search for Prince. And it pulls up a recent article that was published by Metro.
When amplifying an RSS feed, Content AMP pulls in the latest few articles so that you can get started quickly. And with any luck, when I click in here, there should be something. Look at that.
There we go.
By default, all the articles have a grace period to allow the marketer to go in and tweak the settings to their liking. But I can override that by going into the article and just activating it now. This article is now out in front of the influencers that I've already targeted and ready for amplification.
So I'm reloading my screen over here, and you'll see that this article that Chris just activated just showed up in my stream. And now I can drill down and learn a little bit more about it. So I can click and I can view that post and read all the content. I can see how much budget is remaining on this particular product, what I could get paid on a cost per click basis, and what my potential earnings are. My potential earnings are based on the historical information that IZEAx has about my account and how much engagement I would typically have. So I'm going to go ahead and promote this. Super excited about NVIDIA. Nice beat for them. And I'm going to post this to my Twitter account. I'm going to go ahead and hit submit.
Marketers can see all the content posted by influencers in real time on their dashboard. I'm going to go into a campaign we started a few days ago and find that Prince article again. And on my content tab, you can see all of the posts that have gone up since we started running it. I can drill in to a specific post to see analytics on it, or look at specific date ranges. And on my analytics tab, I can get article aggregates for all the pieces of content that have gone out for this particular article. Analytics also exist at the project level, which give you aggregate data across all of your articles, including how much you've spent and how many people your content has reached. Now let's go back to the technology project and see if Ted's post doesn't show up. Okay. Zoom issue here. I don't see the articles. But you can see that Ted's post has gone live, and it looks like a few people have already clicked it, and I've reached about 40,000 people.
And on my side, you can see this post that just went out. I've got 3 clicks on it. I can view the post from the marketer and also my individual post. There we go. And you can see that all the information from the article gets pulled right into the Twitter card, so it's a nice, clean experience. It's super fast for creators and marketers, and it's just about the easiest sponsorship that you will ever do. What do you guys think? Pretty awesome? Yeah. So I want to thank Chris and his team for this incredible new product. They have made it so easy and seamless for our customers, and that is the key to great software. But not only is Content Amp great on the desktop, we are launching Content Amp with mobile support for iOS right out of the gate. With Content Amp on iOS, you can browse content feeds, read content, and share the content you think is valuable to your audience, and we think that influencers are going to love it. Content Amp is performance-based. It automatically ingests and distributes new content to influencers. It is self-service without contracts or licensing fees to marketers. It is super simple, and it is available starting today. So as you can see, our engineers have been hard at work. Today was a huge upgrade for our platform and the services that power it. You've got users, accounts, and organizations, the Enterprise Suite, Score Suite, Messaging, IZEA Pay, Promoted Posts, Social Links, a massive upgrade for iOS, the all-new Android app, and of course, Content Amp. We are so excited to have you all here today. We've got a little special surprise for those of you in the audience. You guys like those Lenovo laptops? Yeah? You guys want one of them? All right, let's give away. We got the boxes over here that we're going to use. All right. Can I get some help giving these away? All right. You go that way, I'll go this way. Hey! All right. All right, we're going to go this way, Zane. This is my son, Zane. All right. All right. I need to see someone dance. Get out there. Let's see it dance. Who's going to break it down? Whoever's going to break it down. Get it down. Let's go. Let's see it. Let's see it. Let's see it. Let's see it. Oh, man. I don't know. I don't know. All right, this guy right here. Woo! Just go in the back and they'll say, yeah! All right. Chris, what do you got? You already give yours away? Oh, man! All right. Where are you going? All right, you can come on up here. All right. Thank you guys so much. Up next, we've got some incredible data for you. It's the 2017 State of the Creator Economy with Ryan Schram and Jana O'Brien. Thank you guys so much. Have an awesome IZEAfest!
Look at these chairs.
Good job,
buddy. Hey guys, it's me, Veronique. I'm back. All right, we're milling about. We're milling? All right, we'll give you a couple minutes. We're going to keep going. Up next is the State of the Creator Economy, which Ted just announced with IZEA's COO Ryan Schram and Jana O'Brien. Welcome. Hey.
Good morning, IZEAfest. How are we? Doing well? Excellent. So who's ready to get nerdy with some numbers this morning? I can't hear you. Come on, nerdy with numbers. What's better than that? Fantastic. I'm Ryan Schram, COO at IZEA, and joining me this morning is Jana O'Brien from the Right Brain. We are super stoked to give you an exclusive look, a sneak peek at the 2017 State of the Creator Economy. This body of knowledge is the largest and most comprehensive independent study of its kind, investigating the world of influencer and content marketing through the eyes of marketers, creators, and consumers. As the team approached the scope for this year's research plan, there were a number of things that we were mindful of. First, there is just rapid evolution going on in the social space. From new platforms to evolving content types, increased automation, we wanted a better understanding of the space in the context of the world surrounding it. We also were keenly aware that there are just expanding marketing approaches going on. Every single day there's something new popping up. So reliable, forward-focused market metrics were extremely important as we wanted to understand the world around us. At IZEA, we've always felt strongly that part of our responsibility of being a pioneer is to use independent research to help shape the future of the industry that we serve for all of its constituents. 7 years ago, we released the first ever State of Sponsored Social study. And like the category itself, what we seek to learn and share has dramatically evolved in that time. So what did we do to enhance the study for this year? First, we wanted to do a deep dive on both influencer and content marketing. No one else had done that before, as well as a separate look at the United States and Canada, as well as in contrast to one another, because there's very keen differences. Importantly, we also chose to shift the time of the year that the study was fielded to increase our incidence and sample size, away from summertime when all of you are on vacation and back into the fall when we're back in school and back to work. To execute on this vision, we tasked the Right Brain to lead this remarkable project in conjunction with their research partners at Halverson Group, Lightspeed GMI, and Research Now. This morning, here at IZEAfest 2017, we're going to walk you through the key findings from this year's State of the Creator Economy. From marketers to creators and consumers, both here in the US and to the north in Canada. And for those of you who slept through stats class, or out too late last night having a great time, I promise you, we're going to make this fun and easy to understand. Sound good? All right, let's get started and take a look at some of the high-level findings. I think it's safe to say that no industry wants to be the next flash in the pan, an overnight sensation that has absolutely no staying power. I'm proud to report that this year's study revealed that for both marketers and consumers, influencer marketing is only growing stronger. The future of content marketing is equally exciting. Brands are just beginning to scratch the surface of educating, not just hard selling their customers. And consumers, they're noticing. As a society, our social fabric in the digital age continues to intertwine. In 2016, they visited just over 7 social platforms each year, about 1 to 3 times a day. Also in this year's study, we found that visual and short-form content is what's really breaking through with consumers. Whether it's motion-based infographics, a listicle, or just a great photo on Instagram, a picture can truly be worth 1,000 words. Another headline this year, influencer marketing is not only here to stay, it's quantifiably become one of marketers' most effective tools. Effectiveness momentum grew with both consumers and marketers this year off of existing significant growth from the year before. By taking a deep dive on content marketing this year, we also discovered that credible, quality content is what breaks through all the noise that's out there today, with perceived effectiveness equal to or higher than traditional marketing approaches. And while content is king, credibility is queen, boosting that effectiveness when the authoring source is identified as a subject matter expert. To that extent, in a social web filled with junk, or what others may call fake news, what stands out to consumers is simple. Whether it's influencer or content marketing, content creator credibility, product experience, and the resulting follower respect is what stands out and drives value. For marketers, quality is the name of the game, along with brand fit and demonstrable success. But brand fit, it's a two-way street. This year, creators stated that they are becoming more selective on where they choose to invest their time. And that makes sense, right? We're all time-starved as a society. So from the platforms creators utilize to the projects they choose to take on with brands, creators are placing a critical lens on being a partner, not just a paid shill. So, are we ready to dive in and get geeky? All right. Before we do so, one quick note. Our awesome marketing team will be posting this presentation, as well as an easy reference infographic produced by IZEA's custom content team on the resources page of IZEA.com. So feel free to take notes, we've already done it for you. In the meantime, we encourage you to tweet your favorite stats with the hashtag IZEAfest. Last but not least, I'm very pleased to welcome back Jana O'Brien from the Right Brain. In addition, yes, absolutely. Jana was named a media maven by Ad Age and has led research and insight at some of the world's leading agencies, serving the world's most valuable brands. She is a trusted partner of IZEA, and we're thrilled to have the opportunity to have her here with us this morning. Please give a warm IZEAfest welcome for Jana O'Brien. Welcome. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I threatened to sing It's Research on a Friday morning to Ryan yesterday. Who doesn't want that? I mean, come on. The great thing is, I always like the gigs where I get to present good news a lot more than I present when I present bad news. And today is a good news day for this industry. So let's get into it. First, we just want to tell you what we did really briefly. In our marketer and creator study for 2016, we again went to US marketers on Research Now's B2B online panel, and we talked to 602 of them this year. And we talked to 250 creators from IZEA's own in-house influencer and content creator panel. In Canada, we talked to 145 influencer and content marketers, also from the same Research Now B2B panel, so we could compare reliably the country findings to each other. So let's start with the marketer learning. Ryan will then take you through the creator learning, and I'll come back and talk about the end consumer and what we learned from them. First of all, the marketers we talked to this year, as if last year, had a lot of experience across the entire marketing mix. As you'll see, most dominantly, they were dealing with digital type marketing efforts, but they did have good experience across the traditional advertising and media mix. They're also becoming increasingly familiar with influencer marketing. Among the influencer marketers who we've surveyed for 3 years running, it's moved up from 6.4 on a 10-point scale to 6.6, and now 7.3 level of familiarity with influencer marketing. And among our content marketers, it's close to that at 7.1. And you're going to see that those two groups are very comparable because half of them were both. They did both influencer marketing and content marketing. So there's not that much difference between the two samples. Marketers are even more familiar with content marketing, with influencer marketers being familiar at a 7.8 out of 10 scale, and content marketers being familiar at an 8 out of 10. They're not just familiar, they're using the techniques. 54% of our influencer marketers had done a program in the past year, and fully 7% of the content marketers had done a content marketing program in the past year. So they're using it, and they're allocating budgets too. Another piece of good news. Over 2/3, 69% of US marketers in companies that do influencer marketing dedicate a standalone budget for that type of effort for their brand. Though we measured it slightly different this year because of our expanded sample, that's up from 52% just 1 year ago. Organization-wide, if you look across all the brands a company handles, A third of the marketers had budgets over $500,000 dedicated to influencer marketing this year, up from 25% just 1 year ago. Content marketing brand budget news is also good. Over half of US marketers, 58%, have a dedicated content marketing budget for their brand, and organization-wide, 29% have budgets over $500,000. So it's more familiar, it's being more used, and it's being budgeted formally in their annual brand budgets. When it comes to this kind of marketing, that familiarity and that investment is also breeding marketer embrace, and our effectiveness metrics prove that. And if you were here last year or if you've looked at our studies before, you know we have two key kinds of effectiveness metrics for the entire range of marketing in the mix. One of them is a pure grading scale. On a 1 to 10 scale, how effective do you think this kind of marketing is? The other is a momentum number, which is versus 1 year ago, do you feel it's getting more effective, just as effective, or less effective than it was then? And both of those metrics say good things about both influencer and content marketing among the marketers of America. Let's start with the grade report. Content and influencer marketing achieved chart-topping effectiveness ratings this year among those who are familiar with these techniques, at a 7.7-ish out of 10 and a 7.6 out of 10 for influencer marketing. As you can see, those are all above traditional marketing. And what's really interesting is if you look at traditional advertising in radio, in magazine, in newspapers, they're down there at the bottom. Not only are they down there at the bottom, but the trend isn't very pretty for them either. If you look across our last 3 studies this year included, you'll see that traditional advertising is flatlining or actually getting less effective. In contrast, content marketing, which we've only measured for the last 2 years, is still high at about 7.7, and influencer marketing is getting steadily more effective in the minds of marketing. Great news. It's not just the grade report, it's also the momentum. And if you recall, this measure has always been positive for these kinds of marketing approaches, but it's super positive this year at the top of the list at a plus 57 net and a plus 53 net positive momentum of being more effective than I thought it was a year ago among marketers. And look at those purple numbers. All those negative numbers are associated with the effectiveness of traditional advertising in the media mix. They're less effective on a net basis than they were a year ago. What we found in terms of what kinds of influencer marketing techniques are being used is that the trend is toward the more quick and the more visual in marketing techniques when we look in year-on-year changes versus year ago. So videos, photos, and status updates had the largest percentage gains along with blogs this year. You can see that a Facebook update, plus 18, following a brand, plus 11, a sponsored video, plus 20, a sponsored blog post, plus 16. Mostly quick, mostly visual is where the big growth is. In content marketing, we also saw marketers favoring more quick and visual methods, with their experience with these kinds of methods being highest among photography and infographics at about half of all marketers. At the next level were the more verbal, reading-oriented levels, like white papers, insight features, and trend pieces. So what's important in choosing an influencer partner and getting one of those programs going? Well, the answer here, when you look at these numbers, is everything's important. I care about everything being important. But first up is content quality and media metrics. I've got to have the quality. It's got to be a great partner, somebody that knows what they're doing, who's going to produce great content. But I also need the metrics to prove to me it's working. Because let's face it, it's big data, it's little data. Clients need data today. And then comes at a close third and fourth level, the traffic and the creator's reputation. Those are strong numbers, but they just lag slightly behind pure quality and pure metrics. So we wanted to know this year, and ask this for the first time, who's responsible for content marketing in your organization? So this is the first time we've ever asked it. Next year we'll have some trend data on it. But what we found is kind of everybody's responsible for it or has a place involved in it in our organization. First and foremost, brand and account management, followed by the digital web development folks, but also the creative department, the PR department, the media department, the search department. They're all touching this. And we wonder if this might be creating some process inefficiencies and lack of centers of excellence that companies might want to pay attention to and try to center who's really in charge, so there can be the efficiencies that companies and clients demand today. More consistent is where the creation is actually done. For 2/3 of our marketers, it's done in-house amongst the studio or writers. 16% use an external agency, 14% use independent contractors, and 6% use a content tech partner. So that's a really quick look. There's probably 120 pages of content in the full report that will be released over the course of the next couple months. But those are the highest highlights. Let's do a quick headline focus on what we learned in Canada from our Canadian marketers in our first wave ever of studying that country. First of all, just like in the US, influencer marketing and content marketers lean toward the top in terms of overall marketing effectiveness ratings, along with celebrity endorsements, which seem to be very much favored by Canadian influencer marketing and experiential marketing. You can also see that traditional advertising falls to the bottom. I might add, if you haven't memorized every number you've seen so far, that overall, Canadian marketers rate everything more effective. They're big believers in the effectiveness of all kinds of marketing, but influencer and content still rise to the top. You're going to see that's different than Canadian consumers when we get to that section later. They also are allocating budgets even more than are being allocated in the United States. 77% of Canadian influencer marketers have a dedicated budget for their brand versus 69% in the United States. And 74% have a budget for content marketing versus 58% in the US. So the Canadians are ahead of America. We got to bring some of that belief down here to American marketers. Now, you may or may not know that in Canada they have some ASE guidelines that have been recommended and are in the process of being adopted. They may be in process. They're not very well known yet by Canadian marketers. You can see that not one person said they were aware of and understand these guidelines among our Canadian marketer sample, and 3/4 said they either weren't aware of them at all or they were aware but not really familiar with them. So there's much work to be done in gaining marketer understanding around proper disclosure in Canada. So that's what we learned in a Polaroid moment about US marketers. I'm going to hand it over to Ryan to talk about creators, and then I'll come back as the caboose and talk about consumers.
Thanks, Jana. All right, who out there in the room is a content creator? Let me hear it from you. All right. Well, we spoke to hundreds of you in this year's study, and here are some of the highlights of what we found. First, let's talk about compensation. The creators sampled stated that influencer marketing has become over half of their annual income, followed by traditional display ads contributing about 23% to their livelihood. However, that percentage on display ads has remained effectively flat since 2014. If you look at influencer marketing in conjunction with content creation and other freelance work that creators are doing, that adds up to over 2/3 of their annual income on average. Another noticeable shift in creator behavior this year was a decrease in the total amount of time spent developing content each month. We think this to be related to the earlier observations that Jana shared around the increase in platforms tied to short form or visual content, or perhaps better tools that now exist to help develop and publish content that's made by creators. The frequency of projects is also shifting simultaneously from a historical weekly pattern to a couple of times per month or even a few months on average. This is likely reflective of the higher prices now being extended by marketers, lessening the dependency on lower priced or more opportunistic kinds of engagements. Where creators are creating also aligns with these macro trends, with Instagram leading the growth along with Snapchat in this year's study. Once high-flying platforms like Periscope and Tumblr, well, they're tumbling. And rest in peace Vine, as Veronique said earlier. Interestingly, Facebook's war, they have a declared war on YouTube for housing and creating video assets. It seems to be having an impact here, with a negative 10% decline year over year. For the folks who falsely claim that creators are only out for the almighty dollar, they're flat out wrong. Being proud to represent a brand and developing content around a product or service that their followers will find most interesting is far more important to creators than just compensation. Also take note of the bars talking about ease of process and the ability to screen opportunities. We think this aligns to the anecdotal creator feedback that we receive on wanting to optimize those workflows of influencer and content marketing. Let's face it, creators are getting bombarded with manual outreach forms, emails, phone calls, direct messages. It's highly inefficient for everyone involved. All right, let's shift gears and talk about transparency and disclosure for a minute. The influencer marketing industry as we know it today is well over a decade old. Yet there are still many people that are completely unaware of the FTC's guidelines. And they're very simple in concept. Compensation in the eyes of the FTC takes a number of forms. Cash and of course free product or service, but also other sort of soft compensation forms, experiences, discounts or coupons. And if it's compensated, it's therefore sponsored. And if it's sponsored, it must be disclosed. Andrew from the law firm Olshan will be discussing the latest on the regulatory environment tomorrow afternoon right here at IZEAfest. But here's the good news. While there was a slight decrease from last year, nearly 2/3 of creators surveyed said that they were aware and understood the FTC's disclosure guidelines. But for the third straight year, the same cannot be said about their marketer side counterparts. Only 1 in 10 marketers are fully aware and understand the FTC regulations, with over half lacking basic familiarity. Folks, this is not just an IZEA issue, it's an industry issue. More needs to be done to proactively educate marketers, as well as make examples of brands who intentionally disobey these compliance requirements. To that point, we added a new question this year to the study, inquiring when creators were explicitly asked by a marketer not to disclose compensation. Shockingly, nearly 3 in 10 creators surveyed said they were asked to not disclose by a marketer last year. And we speculate that given the sensitivity of that question, the actual level could even be higher. But for those that do properly disclose, 2/3 do so in post, and half do so both in post and via disclosure policy statement on their various social channels. It was also interesting to see this year the price per post and price per asset cost expectation discrepancies between creators and marketers that emerged when studying both spaces. For you influencers out there, marketers are assigning expected costs 3 to 13 times higher on average than what you're charging. Note that the largest premiums expected, though, are placed by marketers on highly visual platforms like live streams and video. Recurring theme here, right? For content marketing creators, the story is similar. You're charging rates 1.5 to 5 times less than what marketers expect to pay you, with graphic production and video production being the largest disconnects. All told, creators are optimistic as they look to the future, but are generally seeking training and education, both for themselves but also for marketers to understand how to optimize the approach to both influencer and content marketing. So we've covered the marketers and we've covered the creators, but how does all of this resonate with the end audience, the consumers? For that, I'll turn it back over to Jana to walk us through the highlights.
I love you marketers and I love you creators, but you're also consumers, but you might not be normal consumers. I'm here to talk to you about the normal, average American social media consumer and what we learned about them and how they feel about this space in 2016-17. So we'll start with US, then we'll go to Canada, but first let's talk about how many folks we talked to. In the US, as we did last year, we talked to 1,000 US online social media consumers age 18 to 70 using Lightspeed GMI's National Online USA Consumer Panel. And we went with that same company to survey 300 folks in Canada for our Wave 1 first effort at the COSE in Canada. So who qualified for this study? Let me walk you through qualification and how you got in and got to finish the survey. Nearly 2 in 5 American adults this year, age 18 to 70, qualified. We started with everybody who's online in America. And then we required that they spend at least 15 hours per month outside of email online, and that took it down to 74%, which is up a few points from last year. So Americans are spending more time online per month. And then they had to have used at least one social media platform in the past month, which took it down a few points to 71%. Again, that's up 4 points from 2015. And finally, we required, since the study is about influencer and content marketing, that they had seen at least one influencer marketing message in the past year. And that took it down to our sample base of 38% of all online Americans age 18 to 70. And that's what this is based on, the whole study. In Canada, it was somewhat similar. 34% qualified for our study. But what's kind of interesting is the 15 hours plus number, 81%, is a little higher than in the US, as is the past social media users at 77%. And we wonder if just the worse weather in Canada makes people hunker down, stay inside, and just spend a little more time online versus their Americans who have weather like we have here in Orlando today. So those are our sample bases. Let's look at what we learned from the US consumer in 2016-17. First of all, this is what I call my skyline chart. What you're seeing here is the top bar is annual usage, the next one is monthly usage, the next one is weekly usage, and the next one is daily usage of 11 social media platforms. And what you can see is with all this usage, social media is clearly America's 2016 social currency, with US online users averaging 7.1 social media platforms used each year. It kind of splits into 4 tiers like it did last year, with YouTube and Facebook being almost ubiquitous. There's only a couple people that don't use those platforms in a yearly time. At the second tier, at about 3/4 of Americans, are blogs, Pinterest, Instagram, and Twitter. At a third level of about 1/2 to 2/3 of Americans is LinkedIn, Snapchat, Tumblr, and God rest in peace, Vine. And finally, bringing up the rear is Periscope at just under 1/2 of consumers using it in an average year. And what you notice is Instagram and Snapchat don't have as big of a drop-off slope between annual and daily usage as some of the others, other than Facebook. And the reason for that is it seems that once people start to use it, they start to use it often. Again, in keeping with our quick and visual content that seems to be the popular trend today. So once they're there, how often are they there? Well, monthly visitation shows there's Facebook, and then there's everybody else. Facebook leads the pack at 101 average visits per month, up 11% versus just 1 year ago. At the next tier is Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, and Twitter. And then everybody else falls behind. But again, you see the highest indices year on year being for those more visual and more quick kinds of platforms. We like to ask people, are you following famous people or just regular people across your social media activities? And it's not a huge difference, but there's a little bit of a scooch toward famous people this year with a 1 to 2 percentage point increase across almost all of the platforms other than Facebook in following famous people. And they split into kind of 3 tiers. Twitter, YouTube, Periscope, and Vine all are very famous people skewed. Kind of balanced are Tumblr, Instagram, blogs, and Snapchat, with Snapchat being the most evenly balanced of all the platforms. And kind of regular people skewed are LinkedIn, Facebook, and Pinterest. So they're seeing and they're following more influential people. They're probably digesting a lot more content. Our numbers showed that they're seeing a lot more influencer or sponsored social type messages this year. So does that mean that people are saying enough already? I don't like it. It's not very effective? No, quite the opposite. What we found is more messages actually means more impact. So let's get into those grading scales. The 1 to 10, how effective do you think this is? And how effective is it in the momentum world versus last year? Here's everything but social media platforms. And you can see they're all rated pretty good on a 10-point scale, from 6.1 for a radio DJ kind of sponsored endorsement up to 7.2 for a TV commercial. Okay, not great in effectiveness. In contrast, all the social media platforms range from a 7.1 for Facebook to a 7.9 for Periscope in terms of effectiveness ratings from the consumer point of view. If you lay it all together, there's only 3 things outside of social media that live in the range that social media influencer marketing are. That's quality or product ratings on an online consumer review website, a written review or article on a consumer review website, and even if people think it's dying, TV commercials. Still effective and in the hunt, but nothing more effective than social media platform influencer messages. Now, what about content marketing? What we found is ratings of the effectiveness of various content marketing approaches kind of span the spectrum from 6.4 to 7.2. So we looked further in the data and found that content marketing approaches were rated equally or slightly higher than regular advertising in the same media. So consumers answered the effectiveness for all of those 41 things, no matter whether they actually listened to the radio or watched TV or read a magazine or not. And we recognize that might be unfair, because if they rated a social media platform, they had to use it. So we pulled out only the people who actually use each medium and looked at their effectiveness ratings for an apples-to-apples view. And lo and behold, the numbers did go up a slight bit, but influencer marketing messages were still as high, and in most cases higher, than all other of the 41 marketing messages measured this year. And most of them received lower ratings than influencer marketing. The good news gets even better when you look at momentum. Do consumers think these messages are better, the same, or worse in effectiveness than they were last year? And this is all 11 platforms, and they're all much better in consumers' mind. These are pretty astounding numbers. A net 32 to 47% positive momentum in terms of the percent of people thinking that they're better than they were last year. Again, great news. We also quantified for the first time this year content marketing opportunities by measuring how many articles or pieces people engaged in across the 20 subjects that dominate today's media streams. What we found is the average US consumer reads 207 articles and visits 398 websites monthly across those 20 subjects, representing 20 daily content marketing opportunities for this industry. The implication is frequent consumer subject matter engagement spells a great content marketing opportunity. Just like we did with marketers, we wanted to ask consumers, what makes a message more effective from influencers? And we gave them a full range of attributes and had them rate them on a 1 to 10 scale. And here are the percent that gave 8, 9, or 10 on that scale in terms of it being importance. And as Ryan said in the overview, content creator credibility, expertise, and respect, plus firsthand experience with the product or product category on the part of the consumer are the top effectiveness drivers. They really help a message be more effective. And see how much more important that is than down at the bottom, the number of followers a creator might have or how popular the creator might be. It's really that personal relationship, just frankly, in any part of the relationship between consumers and brands. They want that feeling of a one-on-one relationship no matter what anybody else thinks. And that's what's important in driving an effective message. We asked a similar question for the first time on content creation for content marketing, because there's the whole issue of should you identify the creator or not? Does that matter? And the answer is it does matter, and the more expert or the more known the creator is, the more the positive impact is on the net momentum. So that's an overview of what we learned from consumers in the United States. Let's look at what we learned in Canada. Just a few of the key highlights for the most comparable measures. First of all, our skyline chart, Canadian social media platform usage equals the United States for the top 3 players, but then it kind of lags across the other 8 players. And this is annual usage. When you go to monthly, weekly, and daily, those differences between the US and Canada get a little bit wider. US uses social media a lot more so far than the Canadians. In terms of frequency, just like in the US, Facebook is king, but then Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, and Twitter comprise the second level in terms of how often these consumers in Canada go online. Just like in the US, influencer marketing received right at the top effectiveness ratings, along with a few other message types, and year on year it has top ranking effectiveness momentum versus year ago. Here's everything but social media. And what's interesting here is the marketers in Canada believe in everything more. All types of marketing is more effective than in the US. But Canadian consumers are more skeptical than their US counterparts. They gave all these techniques about a half a point to a full point lower ratings and effectiveness. So advertising in Canada, they're a little more skeptical up there. But the rank order is about the same. And if you flip over to social media platforms, that's the rest of that list, those numbers, as you can see, are much higher. They range from 6.2 to 7.4. And if you put it together, you see that there's only a few items in our list of 41 that do as well as influencer marketing in Canada, and none of them do better than the top-ranking social media platforms. In terms of content marketing, same thing. It spanned the whole range from 5.5 to 6.2, but again, everything in content marketing was equal to or slightly better than traditional advertising in the same media. So we get that same implication in Canada that we did in the US. We quantified how many websites Canadian consumers visit or how many articles or content pieces they read per month across 20 subjects. And it totals about 480, which means you have 15 content marketing opportunities per day for the average Canadian consumer. Huge platform for engagement and brand sales. So that's it for our consumer learning. I'm going to hand it back to Ryan to wrap us up.
Thanks, Jana. Folks, today's presentation, like Jana said, is just scraping the surface of the entire body of knowledge she and her team have assembled for us over this last year. We take research at IZEA very, very seriously. Our plan is to continue to release those findings over the coming weeks on both IZEA.com and the company's various social channels. But before we wrap up, let's quickly recap what we learned this morning. First, for US marketers, the story is all about increased familiarity, effectiveness, and access to budgets. Yes, there's still some work to do on understanding the regulatory environment around disclosure, and the consolidation of executional accountability inside marketing orgs needs to be improved. For US creators, snackable and shareable content continues to reign supreme this year, with an emphasis on visual-based assets. creators have become reliable, informed standard bearers on disclosure, but in some cases, they might be underpricing themselves on certain kinds of projects. US consumers are taking note of influencer and content marketing more than ever. And it's more effective than ever as a means of breaking through the clutter for marketers as a means to reach them. As they engage, though, consumers are seeking creators who are trustworthy and credible in delivering their messages. IZEA's first ever look at the Canadian market in isolation provided some very interesting findings like Jana shared, including that practitioners there are more familiar with influencer and content marketing than their US counterparts, and are funding those efforts accordingly with more dedicated access to budgets. Looking ahead, the ASC rolling out an updated code in Canada means that Canadian marketers are going to need to become more educated on the do's and the don'ts on sponsorships in the social ether. Last, while Canadian consumers are just plainly more skeptical about all marketing than US consumers, they still rated influencer marketing in the top tier of effectiveness. They're seeking personally relevant content to consume, which presents a compelling opportunity for marketers this year. And that's the 2017 State of the Creator Economy. Thank you. I want to thank Jana and the teams at Halverson Group, Lightspeed GMI, and Research Now for all their hard work, as well as IZEA's in-house creative services team, held by Chaz Russo and Marty Smith. Thank you for assembling all these great materials. We're incredibly proud of this independent look at the industry, and I hope you enjoyed it as well this morning. Have a great IZEAfest. Thank you.
Hey. All right, yeah. Thank you. Okay. Hi, welcome back from your break. Just a quick update, you guys. We are right now trending nationally on Twitter, so please, yeah, I know, isn't that exciting? That's the thing. So please make sure to continue using the hashtag IZEAfest hashtag and all of the content that you're posting, and don't forget to use the Snapchat filters that we have. Okay, real quickly, another announcement. If you are in the back talking to our sponsors who we love, please keep it down because I'm hearing that it's very hard to hear everything from back there. So respect for our lovely stage presenters. Okay, who loves Bob's Burgers? Everybody love Bob's Burgers? Yeah? We have an awesome treat for you guys from Bob's Burgers. Check out this amazing video. In a moment, hold on. I'll step aside so it plays. Whew.
Blue.
Show me, show me.
Voila!
It's perfect. I've been tarred and bobbed.
I don't know how I got that arm hair to look so sad, but I did it.
Can I get in here? I need to. Oh my God!
It's like looking in a mirror.
No, it isn't, Gene.
Who's Gene?
I already can't tell who's who.
Take that stuff off.
Lynn, get in here and settle this.
Don't call your mother Lynn.
What? Oh, wow. Hey, whoa, travel size Bob. Aw.
Linda, you're encouraging him.
I need the bathroom. Oh, wow, this is confusing.
No, it's not.
You're my family and I love you, but you're terrible. You're all terrible.
I don't say that.
Well, that's all you say.
You kind of do.
Unbelievable.
Gene.
Bob.
All right, enough.
Enough.
I'm not doing this.
Yes, you are.
No, oh my God.
He's really good. He's good.
He's not good, Lynn.
He's not good, Lynn.
He's
I don't know.
good.
Gene.
What, Bob?
Lynn!
Lynn!
What?
Gene!
Lynn!
Lynn! I'm leaving!
Oh, he's so cute.
Stop following me!
Stop following me in front!
Amazing. I love Bob's Burgers. Yes. Yeah. So we have limited edition signed Bob's Burgers comics by the creator himself, Lauren Bouchard. So who would like to win some? Yes. Yes. All right. Maria here is going to gravitate to the loudest people. So if you have a voice, use it. God gave you one for a reason. Be loud. Oh, help. They're on all the aisles apparently. Yep. Make it happen. Go ahead. Keep going. There you go. They're being given out. Are there any left? I don't know. Is that it? Are they all gone? Who didn't get one that wants one? Oh, that whole row. Okay, well, don't worry, because we're going to give away 10 more of those later on. So let's keep the program going here. Our next presenter is Duncan Wardle, an independent innovation catalyst. For the past 25 years, he's been at Disney, most recently as Vice President of Innovation and Creativity. His more audacious stunts include sending Buzz Lightyear into space, building a full-length pool down Main Street for Michael Phelps, and working with the Obama administration to send the Thanksgiving Day turkeys to Disneyland. That's a thing. In the past 6 years, he created a design thinking, creative, problem-solving model that helps everyone think differently, and he's here to share some of it with us now. Please welcome to the stage the next presenter, Duncan Wardle. You are welcome.
Good morning. If I could ask you all to stand up, please. And if you could find, just number yourself off, get with a partner, person A, decide who's going to be person A and who's going to be person B. I don't have any music. Guys, I need some music. Okay, so person A, I'm going to give you your chosen career. You're the world's most renowned expert in that career. Nothing that you can say is wrong. You are the guru of that chosen career. Person B, you're going to be a reporter, and you're going to ask person A questions about their chosen career. I'm going to give you about 60 seconds. Person A, you are the world's most renowned expert in making parachutes for elephants. Off you go. I need some music. I can't plug in. I need to plug my music in. Guys, don't run away, don't. The plug for my iPhone is gone. The plug for my iPhone is gone. Listen. Cool, thank you. Thanks. Sorry, I couldn't find it. Oh, sorry. Thank you. You're clearly having far too much fun. So guys, let me have you back. Don't sit down yet. So person B, who clearly wanted to be the person who went last, we've saved the best for you. Stand up, guys. I need you to stand up to participate. Person B, your chosen career. Person A is going to play the news reporter and ask you questions about your chosen career. Person B, you're a sex therapist for honeybees. Off you go. Good, you. All right, guys, take a seat. Take a seat. I don't know what it is about the sex therapist for honeybees, but if you ever get two girls together, the laughter is that much louder. Good morning. Thank you for having me. Thank you to IZEA. I'm delighted to be here. My name's Duncan. I've worked for Disney for about 25 years. About 6 years ago, I got a call from the chairman who said, you're no longer in charge of global PR, you're in charge of innovation and creativity. To which my response was, what the hell is that? And so we sent, the first thing we did was survey 5,000 people across the organization, Lucasfilms, Marvel, Pixar, Disney, Disney Parks, consumer products, ABC, ESPN. What are the 5 biggest barriers to being innovative and creative at work? I don't suppose any of them will come as an enormous surprise to you, but our 5 biggest barriers were, first is time, or lack thereof, and you hear people in the office say, I don't have time to think. So how might we give them more time to think? The second one is innovation. Everybody, oh my God, I must have innovation. And if you ask anybody for their definition of innovation, you'll get a different one. And so we needed to establish some common language in the organization as to what innovation was. The third is we're a risk-averse organization. So how might we create a design thinking, creative problem-solving model that gave people the courage, capability, quite frankly, to go out and take smart risks? The fourth one, which I think is a huge barrier for a lot of organizations, is consumer insight was being underused. I would say it was being ignored by a great deal of the organizations. So how might we make all of our marketing team at the time much more consumer-centric than they were? And the last one, which I know was never a barrier for any of you, ideas get stuck, diluted, or killed as they move through the organization. So we created something we called the Innovation Toy Box. It's about 4 stages. I'm only covering 1 today. The first one is, how might we align around a challenge and make sure you're working on the right thing? Number 2 is, how might we go out and collect insights for innovation by actually getting out of our offices and spending time with our consumers? Number 3 is, help me think differently, probably the biggest single barrier for all of us. That's the section I'm going to cover today. And number 4 is, okay, now I've selected the idea, how do I get it executed without it getting diluted, stuck, or killed as it moved through the organization? So the first thing we did was create a definition of creativity. It's not the right one, it's not the wrong one, it's just one, so that we had a common definition. Ours is the habit of continually doing things in new ways to make a positive difference to our working lives. The habit of continually doing things in new ways to make a positive difference to our working lives. What one word in that particular definition stands out for you? Habit, right? Creativity is not a habit for most of us. Your boss comes in and says, I need a big idea, you've got 20 minutes. That's usually the way. So you run off to the cupboard, you get the dusty box off Mark Creativity, you bring it out, and you're creative. And it's like a muscle. It's like anything. It's like my French. I used to live in France. I had fluent French. Now I order a ham sandwich every time I go to Paris, because like un sandwich de jambon, s'il vous plaît. It's the only thing I can order when I get there. It's about making a habit, and I will prove to you that you can learn new habits. What I'd like you to do for a moment is just sit back on your chairs and fold your arms. Get comfy. Just fold your arms. Okay, how does that feel? Comfortable? How else? Sorry? Guarded? Okay. What I'd like you to do, put your hands in the air, give them a good shake. Now I want you to fold them the other way. If it still feels comfortable, I promise you, you're not doing it right. Took me a few. So how does that feel? Uncomfortable. How else does it feel? Awkward. Sorry? Restrictive. Whose arms are these anyway, right? So you can let go. It's all good. Innovation makes you feel awkward. That's how you know you're doing something innovative. Woody Allen once said, if you're not failing every now and then, you're not trying something new. But the science of your brain says that if you fold and unfold your arms simultaneously the wrong way 40 times, 3 days in a row, you will have rewired your brain to fold your arms the other way. So you can, in fact, learn new habits. One of the biggest challenges is, actually, let me just ask you a question. Who are the most creative people you know? Kids, right? Usually about this tall. So what are kids really good at? Imagination. All right. Shout out, guys, because it's hard to hear you over the people at the back. What else? Speaking freely. What else? Play. What? Okay. No politics. What else are kids really good at? Fearless. Honest. Yes, they are. Let me tell you how honest they are. Because I have the accent from the small island in the British Isles, I was naturally elected to teach soccer at my son's junior school. Of course, I was crap at soccer, but I was the coach. So we're running out onto what I called the pitch, what everybody else would call the field. And this little kid, he's about 6 years old, he goes, "Hey, coach." I was like, "What?" He goes, "You look like a really famous English soccer player." I was like, "What?" Well, clearly the only soccer player he could know is David Beckham, right? So I leaned in, I said, "David Beckham." He goes, "No, Wayne Rooney." So I don't know if you know Wayne Rooney. He's the ugliest player in the English Premier League. So what question do kids ask? Why? What do they ask after that? And the third question? All right. They're very, very curious. Very curious. What's the answer after the third why, by the way? Exactly. So if that's what kids are really good at, what do we do really well? What are we good at? Saying no. Limits. Rules. We're good at rules. Sorry, process. What? Taking a great nap. So, let me ask you, what about words that end in IZE? We're really good at that. Analyze. Organize. Criticize. Prioritize. Marginalize. Judgmentalize. We're really good, terrorize. We're really good at the IZE. Here's what these are. These are really just two forms of thinking. There is expansive thinking and reductive thinking. Children think expansively. Adults think reductively. Those are both stages that are required in an innovation project. As a percentage of time, how much do you think you should spend in expansive, and how much do you think you should spend in reductive? Anybody? 60-20. 60-40, sorry. I was not in the finance department for a reason, people. What, anybody else want to hazard a guess? 80-20, which way? 80-20? Actually, it's the reverse, and I was shocked when somebody told me that. It's actually quite easy to have ideas. It's very hard getting them done. You've got a legal department, you've got a brand strategy department, you've got operations to be involved, you have finance to be involved, you've got investors to be involved. You actually need to be far more creative down here than you do up there. But here's the importance. Expansive and reductive mixed like oil and water. You do not want me in a reductive session, because I will come bouncing in when you're trying to just decide which idea we're going to do and how we're going to do it. I'll come in with a new idea. You don't want me there. Equally, I don't want somebody in an expansive session saying no because all the time, because I'll shut down. So one of the creative behaviors I would encourage you to use is signaling. Signaling is incredibly important. Be careful what you ask people for. If you ask somebody, what do you think, what are they going to tell you? They're going to judge it immediately. So I don't invite people to presentations anymore. I invite them to see where we are on the journey. And I'll give you another tip. Don't do a PowerPoint presentation. And another signal, never put a physical object between you and the person you're talking to. I always go in now, there's clients on one side of the table and the agency on the other side of the table. If you put a table between you and your clients, you've immediately asked them to judge whatever it is you're going to bring. Right? If it's Randy, Simon, and Paula, there's the table, I'm a judge. Don't put a table between you and them. Put your presentation all the way around the wall. Even if it's a PowerPoint, start over there and walk with them. A presentation becomes a conversation. My idea suddenly becomes our idea during the conversation. They start to build on it. You'll notice to see them do it. And once you've transferred my idea to our idea, you have a much better chance of getting it through. We'll do all sorts of signaling at the beginning of the meeting. I might draw a picture of a birthday present, and I'll ask people to guess what it is. And they'll say it's a present, and I'll say yes. I need you to be present. I know you're here physically. I need you to be here mentally as well. If the boss or the client gets their cell phone out and I can see it, I can't run up to the boss or the client and say, hey, could you put your cell phone away, please? But I can go back here and say, hey, guys, remember we all agreed to be present today? And I'll watch that person put their cell phone away without having to be asked. It's all about giving very clear signals. We're in an expansive session today. Molson Coors has a red card and a yellow card in their ideation sessions. If somebody's no becausing, they'll throw down a yellow card. And so it's a warning. Hong Kong Shanghai Bank have a physical greenhouse in the middle of their offices. We had a room called Ideate. Pixar has a meeting called a plussing meeting. What do you think they do at a plussing meeting? Yeah, they add on, right? They plus it. So did you work for Pixar? No, it's just a very clear signal of what's being required from people in the meeting. So that's signaling. It's just incredibly important that you signal very clearly at the beginning of the meeting. We use toys because it's a light touch. Toys enable you to have a conversation that you might otherwise not be able to have. And we use images because it's a light touch. And so what I'm going to do now is we're going to actually model a particular one of our first creative behaviors. What I'd ask you is, has anybody ever pitched an idea to have it killed? Come on, people, put your hands up. Come on, own it. Okay. How do people kill ideas? What? Opinions? What do they say? Closed-minded? Too difficult? Or how about we tried that last year? No, I'm sure you've never heard that. I'll never get that past legal. It's not a strategic brand fit. They've immediately gone into reductive, right? I caught the one that instantly meant your idea was dead in the environment I used to work is if somebody senior said, interesting. What that instantly meant was your idea is dead now as opposed to in 5 minutes from now. So I'm going to borrow Christopher. Thank you very much. We're going to demonstrate greenhousing. We're going to demo it, and then I'm going to give you a chance to do it yourselves. So Chris, thank you for joining me. Tomorrow night, IZEA they've hosting people to a pool party here in the hotel.
Okay.
But the CEO of IZEA, Ted, really nice guy,
okay.
He's actually given us, right, $500,000 to do a party tomorrow night wherever we want in Orlando. So I was thinking, we'll create a Death Star bus. It'll be black. There'll be a giant black carpet in a galaxy far, far away. And we'll take them to Disney's Hollywood Studios for a sneak peek at Star Wars Land that doesn't open for another 2 years. What do you think?
Don't get it. No, because there's just so many legal things with that. Disney never likes to show anything early. They're still in the very preliminary stages of building that section of the park. Okay. So,
all right, I'll tell you what then. We'll bring the Disney characters, all the Star Wars characters from Naboo and Tatooine and Hoth, and we'll do an international intergalactic food and wine festival with the Cantina band in the pool.
Duncan, Lucasfilm, despite the fact that they made the prequels, they're very, very strict with their guidelines when it comes to the characters, so we can't have certain things working together, so just...
Okay,
it's a lot.
We'll serve a Death Star cocktail at the pool party.
Okay.
All right, so you get it. So what I'd like you to do is stand up in a second. One of you, you've got $500,000 for a party tomorrow night. You can do whatever you want. One of you's throwing out the ideas. The second person, the first 2 words out of your mouth are, no, because. Off you go.
should let you build it a little bit more. I thought that was your last one. Okay, okay. Let's go, because we're going to go right into
All right, let me have you back. Let me have you back. So let me ask you, for those of you, guys, let me have you back. For those of you who are throwing out the ideas, how was that? Hard. Frustrating. Annoying. What? So, no because. I get 2 no becauses in an ideation session, I shut down. You have 2 types of people in your ideation sessions. You have extroverts and introverts. Extroverts tend to talk before they think. I am guilty of that. Introverts think before they talk. Who has the better idea? Actually, you both do, but it's important that you're heard. And if you're constantly no becausing somebody, somebody will shut you down very quickly. Did your idea get bigger or smaller? Smaller, right? So we're just going to demonstrate one other one, and then you're going to get to have a go. Same gig,
sure.
$500,000 tomorrow night.
Yes.
We're going to take the buses. They're going to be themed to the Death Star. We're going down to Disney, and we're going to do a Star Wars theme party.
Oh, I love it, Duncan. Yes, and let's give tickets to everybody, not just Star Wars. We'll cover the whole park, all of Hollywood Studios.
Cool. All right.
Once that wraps up, we'll go over to Magic Kingdom, too.
Yes, and we'll give them all their Star Wars costume of choice to wear to the party.
Oh, yes, and we'll invite Mark Hamill and maybe Harrison Ford, too, to join the party. That'd be awesome.
And you fly back in the Millennium Falcon. Woo! Yeah! All right, so now, whoever was throwing out the idea the last time, stand up, because you get much better energy if you're standing up. Whoever was throwing out the idea the last time becomes yes and. All you're going to do is yes and each other. So one of you will start, and just first 2 words out of your mouth are yes and. Off you go. All right, take a seat. Let me just ask you, guys. Let me have you back. Let me just ask you, in that exercise, did your idea get bigger or smaller? And when you'd finished, whose idea was it? Bingo. Very important. The moment you can transfer my idea to our idea is the moment you can get it through an organization. Yes and sounds really simple. It's designed to be really simple. These tools were designed to take a very complex creative problem, design thinking model, and just make it easy for people to use. So when you're in an ideation session, yes and. Okay? So what you want to do is, we call it SUN, suspend judgment. It doesn't matter. The first thing out of somebody's mouth might be the wackiest thing you've ever heard. It doesn't matter. Go with it, because it will get you to somewhere different that you couldn't get to by yourself. That's innovative and lateral thinking. I'm going to cover that in just a minute. Understand. Seek to understand what that person said. Ask them questions. Well, why do you think pink fluffy slippers are a good idea for Star Wars weekends? And ask them, where do you think we should sell them? What's the price point? What's the tieback? And then nurture the idea together using yes and. That's greenhousing. Another behavior that goes really well with greenhousing is playfulness. So let me ask you a question, and I need you to shout loud because it's a little loud at the back. Just first thing that comes into your mind when I ask you this question. Where are you, and what are you doing usually when you get your best ideas? Shower. What else? Commuting. Running. What? Glass. Drinking, nice. Man after my heart. Driving, commuting. The other two that I'm sure I heard, but I didn't quite hear is just about to nod off to sleep, just about to wake up. Number one answer is always the shower. Except I did this for a month in India last year, and number one answer was always the toilet, which I thought was remarkably honest. But shower, commuting, riding the bicycle, playing with the children. You are 100% consistent with the 3,000 people we've trained over the last 6 years. None of you said at work. Ooh. Ooh. So, I'd ask you to close your eyes for just a second. I want you to be as honest with yourself as you choose to be. You don't have to tell anybody about it, that's the good news. I want you to picture the last verbal argument you were in with somebody, and I'll give you 20 seconds to do it. Just picture that verbal argument. You're having a screaming match. All right, you can open your eyes. The argument's over. You storm out of the room, you leave the building, you cross the street, you're still angry, get in the car, drive down to Starbucks, sit down, order a coffee, sit down in the armchair, relax. 5 minutes after the argument's over, what just popped into your head? Just then, bang, straight in. What you should have said, the killer one-liner that you'd wished you'd used during the argument. Oh my God, if I'd have said that, I'd have killed it, right? How annoying. Always 5 minutes after the argument. Never, ever, never during you. Oh, if I'd said that, I'd have landed it. Never. Always 5 minutes afterwards. Here's why. When you are in an argument, sadly, it's the same as being in an office. Your brain is in busy beta. You hear yourself say, I don't have time to think. I'm scheduling an email. I'm doing a presentation. I'm talking to somebody. I'm going to a meeting. I'm typing a PowerPoint. And when you're in busy beta, 87% of your brain is subconscious. Only 13% is conscious. 87%, every person you've ever kissed, every license plate, even the ones you'd like to forget, every license plate you've ever read, every meal you've ever had, every text you've ever felt is back there as stimulus for new ideas. You cannot access that when you're in busy beta. That is the importance of playfulness. That's why I did an energizer when I walked in here to begin with, because I needed to metaphorically place you back in the shower. I don't expect you to be playful every minute of every day, but when you need people to be playful because you want to get them out of busy beta into amazing alpha is when you need to be a bit more playful. So Chris and I are going to demonstrate playfulness for you in a classic game called Oh No, Do I Have To? I love this. When you go to Hollywood Studios in the old days and there was the Indiana Jones stunt show and they would ask for volunteers and all the Americans were like, me, and all the Brits were handcuffed underneath the chairs. So, please, God, don't let him find me. So I'm going to be the storyteller. Chris is going to be the word chucker. I need the name of a place, but a place you think I would know. I can't hear it. London. I know London. Thank you very much. And an object. A ball. All right, so last weekend, I was over in London. I went to see the Chelsea versus Arsenal game. We won 3-1, by the way. Thank you very much. Thank you. So I was on my way out the door.
Corgi.
When not Her Majesty the Queen had actually been at the game with her corgis.
Bicycle.
And they let them out on the pitch. And I didn't know, because Britain doesn't do a halftime show like America with all the cheerleaders and everything else. So they actually got the Queen's corgis on bicycles with the Coldstream Guards doing a halftime show, which I've never seen before. Sorry?
Pineapple.
But there was an overlay, so it was a promotion for Hawaii. Who knew, right? Did you know corgis came from Hawaii? Neither did I.
The rarest kind.
They actually had pineapples on their heads while balancing on a one-wheel bicycle.
Cell phone.
And just then they had to take a call. So anyway, all right, thank you very much. Yes. So you get it. Now it's your turn. The good news is you don't have to get up on the stage. I'd like you to get up in a pair, right? One of you is going to be the storyteller. One of you is going to be the word chucker. Once the storyteller has used the word you've given them, give them another one, okay? And I want you to start the conversation, whoever the storyteller. I was on my way to IZEAfest today when, and then word chucker starts throwing in the words. Up you get, 2 minutes, off you go. All right, let me have you back. Let me have you back. By a show of hands, once you realized, oh my God, I'm going to have to get up and do this, who thought the word chucking was going to be the easier of the two roles? And who thought storytelling was going to be the easiest? Yeah, not many, right? So, word chuckers, how was that for you? Hard, why? So, one of four things probably happened. Number one, if you're bilingual, you have millions of words. If you only speak one language, you have hundreds of thousands. And how many could you remember just now? God, I can't remember a single word. Then the next one is you start looking around the room for random objects. You're like, flip chart, carpet, screen. It's like, seriously, you sad, sad people. The other one is if you're a very empathetic person, chances are you were throwing out words that were helping to build the story. When you actually look back on the words you threw out, they might not have been as random as they were when you were throwing them out. Storytellers, was that easier or harder than you thought it was going to be? Easier, okay. Some of you harder, but most of you, I think, easier. Let me tell you why it was easier. You couldn't control where the story was going. I was off to watch Chelsea Football Club play football. Suddenly I had to work in the Queen's Corgis, a bicycle, a pineapple, and Hawaii, right? I was like, well, so I couldn't control where the story was going, all right? It's the same as an ideation session. I need to get you out of your river of thinking, out of your expertise, and get you somewhere else. That is the benefit of playfulness when you're in an ideation session. And you want to run an energizer to actually to get people metaphorically back in the shower. And I'm going to have a sign-up sheet out the back afterwards. If you want to sign up for a little book of energizers, I'll happily send them to you. So take a seat, please. Thank you, Chris. So why? Believe it or not, your brain has 4 brain states. Busy beta is the one you're in when you're in an argument. Busy beta is the one you're in when you're in the office. It helps you get through the day and make decisions. There is a reticular activating system, which is a really boring word. I'd remember the word door. There's a door between your conscious and your subconscious. And when you're stressed at work and you don't have time to think, you're in busy beta. The door between your conscious and your subconscious is firmly closed. You cannot access 87% of stimulus for new ideas. Amazing alpha, when you're metaphorically just about to get in the shower. When you're drinking a glass of something that I like. When you're walking the dog, I heard somebody say, when you're running, when you're commuting. It's just the door is just wide enough open that you can move between your conscious and your subconscious. And that's when you can have ideas at work. The next stage is thoughtful theta. The door is pretty much wide open. I think a couple of you said when I'm just about to go to sleep or when I'm just about to wake up, that's theta. If you tend to have ideas, then get a notepad by the bed. Couple of gentlemen that explore with it, Thomas Edison. Not as commonly known in America as the expression when the penny drops. It's that eureka moment that, oh, I've got the big idea. Thomas Edison used to fall asleep in an armchair at night, put a penny between his knees and a tin on the floor. And as he would nod off to sleep, the penny would drop and he would write down whatever he was thinking. He had more patented inventions in the patent hall in the 20th century than any other inventor. Dali did the same thing. He would fall asleep next to his easel, and as he fell asleep and he would fall off the easel, he would sketch whatever he was dreaming. Says a lot about Salvador Dali's paintings, but not an unsuccessful painter, thoughtful theta. Then there's dreamy delta. Dreamy delta, you are gone. You are fast asleep. You're probably riding through the forest on a giant green chicken, being chased by a purple unicorn, and just then David Beckham in a loincloth sweeps in to take you away to safety. I know you've all had that dream. Or one like it, the one where you wake up in the morning and think, man, what was I smoking before I went to bed? Here's the challenge with Dreamy Delta. When you wake up in the morning, you could have solved world peace, but you can't remember anything, okay? I will tell you, though, Google are experimenting with sleep pods in the offices specifically for this reason. But for creativity in the workplace, amazing alpha, you get there by doing energizers. And I will, for people who want to sign up, leave you with a little book of energizers like Experts, which is the one we just started with. Your brain, I like to think of your brain also as like a mountain. With each one of life's new experiences, a different raindrop falls on to your brain. Could be the first time you remember seeing your mum and dad, first time you learned to walk, first time you learned to ride a bicycle. Then you go off to junior school, elementary school, kindergarten, and you start those raindrops start to come into what we call streams of recognition. Could be learning how to count, could be learning your ABCs. Could be learning a different language. Could be learning to play nicely with other children. From elementary school, you go to junior school, middle school, high school, college, 4 years, marketing communication. You join Disney, you go into their PR team, you work in global PR for Disney for 25 years. How wide, how fast, and how deep do you think my river of thinking is on Disney and public relations? Pretty wide, pretty fast, pretty deep. This is why you're employed by your companies, for your expertise. That's the good news. The bad news is your expertise is the single biggest barrier you have to being more innovative. Because if I asked you, have you ever tried to cross a very fast-flowing, deep, wide river, the answer is no. Why? Because it's difficult. Thinking differently is difficult. Your own expertise keeps you locked and loaded. And so somebody comes at you with a completely different idea to yours, and your expertise is subconsciously going, now, I saw somebody try that last year, it didn't work so well. I'll never get that past legal. The brand strategy team go for that. I'll never get the financial resource. You're not even listening to the new idea. So we've developed a series of 4 lateral thinking toys. I'm going to touch on 3 today that you can use to help people think differently, including yourselves. And they're very easy. That's the benefit. The first is borrow it. The borrow it is asking a question, where in the world has somebody already solved the challenge I'm trying to solve? And borrowing back the underlying principle. What do you think this object is here? It's not that badly drawn, people, come on. Thank you. A roll-on deodorant. Before the days of roll-on deodorant and aerosols, believe it or not, deodorant came in a tub. It was almost like a cream. You put your hand in and kind of went, whop, and hoped it didn't drip all over the place. So the people at deodorant asked themselves the question, where in the world has somebody already solved the challenge of applying a thin layer of liquid across a smooth surface at an even rate? So where in the world has somebody already solved the challenge of applying a thin level of liquid at an even rate on a smooth surface? Sorry? Pen, ballpoint pen, right? But if they just stole the idea and created a ballpoint pen as a deodorant, it would kind of take a while, right? So all they did was make it wider. Georges de Mistral was one of several people who went after a bid from NASA to create suits that could open and close quickly in the vacuum of space. And they couldn't use metal buttons because they were too cold, they would burn their fingers. They couldn't use zips for the same reason. He was out walking his dog in Switzerland, and he got those little green burrs, those little round balls on your socks, you know, the annoying ones that you throw in your sister's hair, and you can take them out and throw them back again. You're like, ooh, I could do this again. He put it under a microscope and found that it has little hooks and little loops that allows it to attach and reattach, and he came up with Velcro, just by looking else in the world for somebody who had already solved that challenge. Perhaps the easiest one to get our heads around is Speedo. In 1996, Speedo were commissioned by the US Olympic Committee, and the brief was, make our swimmers go faster through water. So they looked out into the world, where in the world has somebody already solved the challenge of moving quickly through water? Shout, because I can't hear you. Fish, sharks, dolphins, speedboats, torpedoes. They chose sharks. They did biomimicry on a bullnose shark. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you pet a bullnose shark from nose to tail, it's remarkably smooth. If you pet it the other way, you'll lose all the skin on your hand, because the bullnose shark has tiny little hooks on top of its skin all the way down its body, which allow it to contain a little air pocket underneath it, which it can expand or contract as it chooses to expand its surface friction to turn quickly or reduce its surface friction to move quickly through water. They borrowed the underlying principle behind that back. They created those one-piece suits that you saw on all the Olympic swimmers in the year 2000 in Sydney. They broke 18 world records. It was considered so innovative, the suits were banned. That's when you know you've got a good idea, by the way. The other tip I'll just give you as an aside for an ideation session, always bring in a naive expert. A naive expert is somebody who doesn't know what you're working on. They will ask the embarrassing question. They will ask the awkward question. They will ask the silly question. They will ask the question you're too proud or too embarrassed to ask. They will get you out of your river of thinking. What I'd like you to do now, if you've got a pen and paper, don't worry if you haven't, but if you've got a pen and paper, I'm only going to give you like 10 seconds. I want you to draw a house. Go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. I'm going to bet it looked like that. I'll bet you 95% of you drew the house like that. It's the square, the door's at the middle, the windows are nicely placed, and yep, there's a roof and it's triangular. I invited a group of architects into an ideation session for something we were doing with Hong Kong Disneyland. And all the architects came in. I gave them 15 seconds, and they drew that. Because they were in their rivers of thinking. I also invited in a chef. People challenged me as to why I invited the chef in. I said, well, the chef's really creative. He has to be creative. He's creating new dishes with maybe an ingredient's missing. Maybe somebody's got an allergy. I mean, that guy turns creativity every day. He drew dim sum architecture. He took 2 giant steam pork balls in a straw basket and drew it as a massive piece of architecture. And everybody's like, wow, I have never seen dim sum architecture before. Here's what he had just done. He gave permission for the architects to get out of their river of expertise and think differently. And if any brand in the world could create audacious architecture, it would become Disney. Somebody in the meeting happened to say, wow, distinctly Disney, authentically Chinese. 3 years later, what's the brand positioning for Shanghai Disneyland? Distinctly Disney, authentically Chinese. Came from a chef. That's the importance. I could give you lots of examples, but naive experts, they will very rarely solve your challenge for you, if at all, but they will get you out of your river of thinking and thinking differently. Next one is Twist It. I love Twist It because I like breaking the rules. And I happen to work for an organization that had a lot of rules, so they were easy to break. However, Walt was the master of using Twist It. Twist It comes in 3 columns. It's very easy. Write down the rules of your challenge. Write down what if those rules didn't apply. The more provocative you make this, the bigger the innovation. And imagine a world where they might. Walt, when he made Fantasia in 1940, he wanted, does everyone know Fantasia, the classical masterpiece? Yeah, it was critically acclaimed, never did that well at the box office. Walt was way ahead of his time. 1940, he wanted mist pumped into the theaters during Drip Drip Little April Showers. He wanted heat pumped in during Night on a Bare Mountain. And the theater owners said, Walt, that's too expensive, because the movies were only in the movie theater for 3 months in those days. And they wouldn't go with him. So Walt listed all the rules of showing a movie in a movie theater. By the way, there is an industry that is ripe for disruption, because if you go to 1940, when Walt premiered Fantasia, to today, the only difference is the cigarette girl's not there anymore and there's no intermission. Other than that, it's still the same. It's dark. It's dirty. I can't sit next to the person I want to. I never get the chair I want. They make me watch the previews. I have to go at a set time. I can't talk. I can't text. He listed all the rules, but from his point of view. And he listed the environment. And he said, because he couldn't control it. His provocative question was, what if I could control the environment? Okay, well, if I could control the environment, imagine a world where I might. Well, I don't own the movie theaters, so my stories would have to come out of the theaters. Well, I don't own any screens. Well, then I'd have to make my characters come out of the screens. Well, if my characters came out of the screens, they'd have to be 3-dimensional. Well, if they were 3-dimensional, they'd need somewhere to live. Well, if they had somewhere to live, the princesses couldn't live next to the pirates because they wouldn't be immersed in the story. So he came up with Adventureland, Fantasyland, and Disneyland, the biggest single creative invention of the 20th century. Reed Hastings, a man like myself, only he's a lot more wealthier than I am, he created Netflix because he had $130 worth of late fees at Blockbuster. Because like all of you who had children and returned that video on a Monday morning that was sitting in the hall, you put it through the letterbox, you come back on Friday, and they say, that'll be $50, please. You're like, what? Because your children left the cassette stuffed down the side of the sofa, and you returned the empty box. So he asked the questions, what are the rules of going to Blockbusters? So you all went. What were the rules of going to Blockbusters? Be kind and rewind. What else? Membership fee. What else? You couldn't reserve. Yeah, limited selection. You could never get the one you wanted on opening day weekend, ever. The late fee. Did you have to go anywhere? Yeah, to a physical store, right? Physical store. He asked the question, what if there was no physical store? What if there were no late fees? Okay, well, imagine a world where I make that work. Well, okay, there's no physical store, so I need a central distribution point. If I have a central distribution point, it could be a physical warehouse, and I send the videos out and they come back. But still, people want that video on opening day weekend, and I don't have enough. Well, what if I streamed it? Suddenly, you don't have to drive anywhere. I can cut your rental off at the end of 24 hours, so there's no late fee. You all get the one you want on opening day weekend. And he came up with Netflix and put Blockbusters out of business within 5 years. He took the idea to Blockbusters 4 times, by the way. The last one is Re-Express It. Re-express it can be done through words, senses, and perspectives. Words are remarkably powerful. I was up in a reception desk waiting to meet somebody in New York about 6 months ago, and I was chatting to this young lady behind reception, or behind a desk. There were quite a few people there. We got chatting for about 20 minutes, and she was the most empathetic, friendly, nice, just one of those people you want to steal and bring back to the office. So I was upstairs with a bloke called Simon, and I said, "You're a receptionist." She was remarkable. He said, "Oh, we don't have a receptionist." I was like, God, who the hell was I talking to for 20 minutes? I said, "Oh, her name was Sarah." She said, "Oh, yeah, that's our director of first impressions." Let me tell you, you know when somebody's got a good idea because you're sitting there going, "Shit, I wish I'd thought of that." So all they had done, they hadn't given her any more money, no more shares, no more bonuses. They had empowered her to own the space. So let me ask you, if I was going to go out this afternoon and open a car wash, what would you normally expect to see in a car wash? Massage chairs. Chairs. What else? In a normal car wash, what would you see? Water. Vacuums. What else? Soap. Brushes. I heard wax. What else? Sorry? Vacuum. I got vacuum. What else? Towels. Cash register, right? All right. So let's say I didn't open a car wash. Let's say I chose to open an auto spa. Whoa. What could you put in an auto spa? At a spa, what could you put in it? Masseuses. Masseuses. What else? Starbucks. Baristas. What else? A bar. What else? A what? Internet. What else? Cute employees. Of course you could. So, in less than 60 seconds, you went from your river of thinking, chairs, vacuum, soap, brushes, wax, towels, register, to masseuses, baristas, bar, internet, and cute employees, just by simply re-expressing the challenge up front. Okay? There was a gentleman in the first Gulf War. There was 3 staff canteens on the border between Kuwait and Iraq. 2 were in the green zone, 1 was in the red zone. The red zone was right up against the front lines. You could get shot at going to that canteen. But the vast majority of troops, or a disproportionate amount of troops, would go to the one in the red zone. They couldn't figure it out. They had the same ingredients, they did an IE study on the recipes, on the troops, on the experience, on the budgets, on the gadgetry they had, and they couldn't so they brought in the chefs and asked them what they thought their mission was. The 2 chefs in the green zone said they thought their mission, they were in charge of producing proteins and carbohydrates to make the troops lean, mean, killing machines. They asked the guy in the red zone, he said, no. We're in charge of staff morale. And just by twisting his challenge, he had got his team to come up with completely different ideas. Okay? I don't have time for the other ones, but one thing you might do is perspectives. Just as you did experts earlier on, you might you choose somebody who has nothing to do with your challenge, a minion. How would a minion get more people to go to this cafe on a Friday? And you stay in character and they interview you as a minion, because I guarantee you a minion will solve that challenge very differently to you. Or hopefully they would solve that challenge very differently to you. The last behavior is freshness. And what I'd like is, I'd love you to be as honest as you choose to be. When you go to your favorite restaurant, how many of you order the same meal every time? Starbucks, you order the same drink. Who uses the same search engine every day? Honesty, please, people, come on. All right. Who sleeps on the same side of the bed every night? Okay, now you're all here in the Gaylord Palms Hotel. Who's still sleeping on the same side of the bed every night? Come on, people, own it. We are all creatures of habit, okay? So let me ask you, have you ever commuted home, wherever home is, and you get to the front door and you look at the front door, you think, how the hell did I get here? Okay? Here's what happened on your commute home. Your brain shut down. It got bored. No fresh stimulus in, no new ideas out. Okay? People do not take time for a fresh stimulus. So you need fresh stimulus in to get fresh stimulus out. But BMW give their engineers an exercise where they can build anything they like as long as it's not in the automotive industry. 2 guys came up with a cappuccino machine that came up with a new steam injection system that actually allowed them to come up with a new fuel injection system for the BMW M4. Google gives their engineers 20% time. 20% a week to work on anything they're passionate about. We're about to create an Innovate report where we're just going to webcast, Chris and I, once a month, and we're just going to showcase the world of innovation from around the world, from different industries, for different people. If you want to sign up, there'll be a web sheet of that. It's 1 hour a month commitment to get fresh stimulus to think of new ideas. The last behavior I want to demonstrate, and it's only going to take 30 seconds because I can see the orchestra's playing me up over here, is bravery. And to demonstrate that, I'm looking for one volunteer, because we've only got about 30 seconds left anyway. I want you to come up on the stage. Hang on just a second. Looking for a volunteer to come and sing with me. We're going to do Kiki D and Elton John, Don't Go Breaking My Heart, karaoke. But actually, what we decided to do when we were putting the lottery tickets and handing them out, we came in early this morning, and on the count of 3, what I'd like you to do is just put your hand underneath your chair, because underneath one of your chair is a Post-it note that says, "It's you." 1, 2, 3. Okay, people, I'm just kidding. I would not finish. Man, did somebody get that on camera? I really want to get on camera. You all just became British very quickly. So, what is the bravest animal in the jungle? Lion. I would argue differently. I would argue it's right there, the humble butterfly, what you were just feeling just then. Because I would argue that when you're doing, again, that Woody Allen quote, if you're not failing every now and then, you're not trying something different. I am the youngest company in the United States of America. I registered myself 5 days ago, and every morning I wake up, thank you very much, I wake up half excited and half terrified, but it forces me to be brave, and that's a good thing. So I would argue the opposite of bravery is not cowardice, it's conformity. Thank you very much. Go and enjoy your lunch. Thank you. I also want to thank the team from IZEA for putting on this conference, Lindsay for helping to bring me in, and Ricardo for introducing me to the great people at IZEA in the first place. Thank you very much.
You're not going to sing Don't Go Breaking My Heart? Oh, I so wanted to. All right, that was fun. Big hand for Duncan, you guys. Super exciting. All right, we're going to break for lunch right now. We're running a couple minutes behind schedule. Thanks, Duncan. But it's 12 o'clock. Please have your lanyards on you. They're in your swag bags, by the way. There are discounts available throughout the eateries, except for the Cocoa Bean and the, what's the other one, Lindsay? Lindsay? What's the other place that doesn't do the discount? And Emerald Bay Marketplace. All right, let's meet back here at 1 o'clock. Thanks, guys.